Well, everybody, welcome back once again to the channel. It's JJ with you once again, and we got Mr. Machine on the line, like always. Say hi, Mr. Machine.
Hello.
See, we got him on a microphone. I'm on a microphone. We both got microphones, so we're both ready to go. Guys, I'm going to tell you what's on my mind. I don't know about you guys, but I know we want to get started with this, right, Mr. Machine?
Let's go.
Oh, we're going. Trust me, we're going. We are going. I'm just waiting for the stream to populate. Make sure everybody's getting in on the action, Just want to make sure everybody's getting in on the action. So, just getting all prepared and ready to go, man. Okay. Here's the reason why we're here tonight. I made a video on Nvidia's drivers, the 595.71. Okay. I've been hearing reports of people, having the fans fixed, but they're losing performance. They're losing FPS. Me and Mr. Machine were talking about it earlier tonight, but the drivers are turning into a bigger story, bigger than anyone has expected, really. And, my thought is I'm going to bring it to you guys here on the live stream. I want to hear you guys' input in the live chat section. If you're having problems with it, let me know. But like I said, I was talking to Mr. Machine about it, and I have one theory that might work. AMD, if you got an AMD motherboard and you haven't updated the chipset drivers, I would start there. If we really think about it, okay, me and Mr. Machine are not having problems with the drivers. Okay, the reason why we're not having problems with the drivers is because we got everything fully up to date. Now, if you're not fully up to date with your chipset drivers, that could be a problem too, because AMD said it is a must that you need to update your chipset drivers, because they put things in there to support Windows 11 25H2. And I think they did some for Windows 10 as well. So, just keep that in mind. I was thinking to myself, maybe the reason why everybody's excuse me, maybe the reason why everybody's having so many problems is because they don't have their chipset drivers up to date. Now, Intel is a total different animal, when it comes to their chipset drivers. They pretty much stay up to date if you got their manager system, which probably you do. So they pretty much keep it up to date. But AMD, on the other hand, you got to download them and install them and keep yourself up to date. Now, if you got AMD, a subscription with AMD, they put out there if they're doing a chipset update or they're doing driver updates for, the graphics card. So they do it for the CPU and the graphics card. So that's how I found out, because I'm subscribed to AMD and the subscription to Nvidia as well. So I know when new drivers pop up for my PC. So, and also too, I remember thinking back that, well, hell, on my AM4 system, what happened to me when I did an update with Microsoft Windows and the fan control, the CPU fan control, I lost control of the CPU fans and the CPU pump for my AIO. So this could be a reoccurring event because of the updates from Microsoft. It's like a combination. You take the combination and you got one hand, you got your CPU and you got your GPU, you got to keep them both up to date. And then you got another piece to the puzzle. You got Microsoft and the operating system. So you got to keep the operating system up to date. You got to keep the CPU up to date. You got to keep the GPU up to date. You got to keep it all up to date. But some people, what they fail to realize is that keeping their stuff updated and they're still having problems, that's kind of weird. I mean, Mr. Machine's got 50 series graphics card. I got a 40 series graphics card. And also, too, I tested on the 30 series graphics cards. Keeping everything up to date, there's no drop off in FPS. So, all in all, if you want to stay, what I did notice, Mr. Machine, I noticed that on the last Cyberpunk test I did with you, I noticed there was like a 60 to 70 FPS difference between 581, was it 581.87 compared to 595.71. It's like I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's an improvement. It's kind of hard to tell if it's a glitch or it's an improvement. But I can tell you, when I tested Cyberpunk then and getting a score and now, because I got the scores from before I did the update and after I did the update, there's like a 30 FPS difference between the two. Well, did I say 70 or 30? It's in between 30 and 70. How about that? But it is an improvement. I did notice it was an improvement. So, I don't know. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Well, it should be a good thing. I'm on 40 series, I don't know. Mr. Machine, let me ask you. Your 50 series graphics card, did you see an improvement after you did the update?
Yeah.
How much?
About 5%.
I could say that's about what I got on mine. So all in all, if you got an improvement, I got an improvement. Why are other people having problems?
Well,
is it like what we discussed, the chipset drivers?
Maybe.
That could be a key to the puzzle, because if you don't have their chipset drivers up to date, then that's a part of your fan control.
Yeah, all the reviewers using 9800X3Ds, so
Yeah. But that shouldn't matter. Not on baseline fan control. Or,
I don't know.
or, here's an or to this. Or if they got like an Asus motherboard or an MSI motherboard that uses their software for fan control, they didn't install it. That's another hypothesis. Because I know when I had that problem with the CPU and the AIO fan control, I had to reinstall the Armory crate to get it to work correctly. And, it brought everything back to life. So I'd stop overheating on my CPU. So it did work. And ever since then, I haven't had a problem on my B550 motherboard. So, but we did have that glitch with the MSI Control Center. We did have that glitch. As it was trying to update, it seems the operating system denied it access to update. And I'm still looking into it, trying to figure out why. Why would the operating system block MSI Control Center for the motherboard? So I'm taking that into consideration too. You know that?
Yeah.
So with me having that in consideration, finding that little glitch, could it be that the stores and Microsoft, they got Microsoft stores that you can go into the command.com, you can run FSC scan now to see if the Microsoft stores are actually intact, if there's any problems with them. There's a couple times I've done updates and I had to go in there and repair the Microsoft stores. And sometimes it couldn't repair it from the original that's on my PC. So I would have to take and use the little flash drive that I have the operating system on and use that as a backup. So when I got to repair the stores, I do it right off of the little flash drive. That's not corrupted. I made sure that's not corrupted. But it seems often that Microsoft has been getting corrupted a lot lately. So I'm thinking why these people are having problems. Fan missing sensors, like cooling issues, fan control bugs, and worse performance, and also to losing the power controls. That is an odd one. Don't you think that's an odd one?
Mm-hmm.
Did you lose your power controls on yours?
No, I don't really mess with the power anyways.
No, but just to say as a shits and giggle.
No, like MSI Afterburner, I had the ability to increase the power limit without a problem. I didn't see any voltage issues. But I have everything motherboard controlled set in the BIOS. That might be one other reason why I don't see anything, because I allow the motherboard to control it. And if you have the chipsets correct, I'm pretty sure that everything was going to be fine.
Yeah, but you're talking about the GPU control. You're not talking about CPU control.
Yeah, but I never had fan issues with the GPU either.
Well,
the fans were on all the time. That's how I have it set.
Yeah, I know, but when you increase, when you open up MSI, right? When you open up MSI and you manually increase your fans, I'm going to turn mine to 100. Okay. You guys hearing that? Okay, now I'm turning it back down to where I had it. Yeah, the fan control's working fine. Core voltage is working fine. That's weird. You know, I got full control of the overclocking. I'm doing it right here, so you know, I'm not getting it. I mean, I don't see any minor dips. I don't see anything crashing. You know, I don't see anything different from when it from going from what 581 down. Jeez, I can't even remember the goddamn drivers. Isn't that bad, man? That's terrible. I can't even remember the damn drivers. So many that I go through, but that's the reason why I make sure when I download it, I got a folder specifically for all the driver updates. I don't do it for the Nvidia app. Right. So it's 591.86. So from 591.86 to 595, that 595.71. I had to transfer that to that folder. That makes it easier. So yeah, from those two, from before and after, I seen an improvement in FPS, but that could be due to the upscaling. That they did improvements to the upscaling. You think it could be?
Maybe.
I think it is. I think they did some improvements to the upscaling. So no matter what game you play, there's going to be an improvement. But you got to remember, they did put that improvement for Resident Evil. You know, for the new Resident Evil that just come out. Which, sooner or later, I'm going to get my hands on it. Sooner or later, not now. I'm waiting for it to come on sale, you know. Then I'll put my hands on it. I'll let everybody do their own little testing and everything else. But when I get ready for me to put my hands on it, I'm going to wait for the sale to come about. I'm going to grab it and we're going to test it. So I'm not like the other ones. I'll take and I'll let it get seasoned before I decide to test it. Because, you know, if you go to test it right out of the gate, it's always going to have bugs and problems and all that. I want to see how it progresses, how it goes from being buggy all the way up to being seasoned and ready to go. Period. So I don't know if you guys feel that same way as I do, Machine. You disagree with that or what?
No.
I mean, sometimes when you get games right out of the gate, it just you're paying a high price for what? You're paying a very steep price for the game, and you get it with bugs and everything else, and then you give a review on it, and it's a bad review because of all the bugs and stuff. I don't want to do that. I want to give the game a chance to survive. That's the reason why I kind of wait on things. I waited on Cyberpunk, and I know where it came from and everything else. It's appreciated, and Mr. Machine knows that. So, but I waited. I didn't ask for it. I waited for these games. Okay? I didn't want to rush into the game. As much as I wanted to play the game, I wasn't going to be rushing into the game because it puts more curiosity into my mind. And as the game gets further from its launch date, it gets more and more updates and more seasoned to it's just perfect. So that way, when I go to play the game, I can give an honest review. I can't give an honest review on a game that's full of bugs. You agree with that, right, Machine?
Yeah.
I can't do that. I'm sorry. I can't.
It gets better usually after a couple of months.
Yeah.
Because we're the beta testers.
I do agree. But I would rather wait to give everybody my first impression of it, to give the game a chance to survive, to give it a positive instead of a negative. I see so many people out there giving negative reviews to games and everything else. I'll tell you what, I love Cyberpunk to death. It is a great game. I adore Hogwarts Legacy. It is an awesome, awesome game. Okay. And I'm not sponsored to tell you guys anything about these games. Okay. None. Nobody sponsored my channel. I have not one sponsor but Mr. Machine. And a couple that's out there, like, the loyal subscribers to the channel. The ones that get in there and they start, putting their 2 cents in and helping out and, the loyal subscribers. And if you want to become a loyal subscriber, hit the subscribe button. Keep me motivated. Right, Machine?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to keep me motivated if they don't subscribe, right?
No, you got to sub to get to know everything that's going on.
Exactly. You want an honest answer? I'll give you an honest answer. I'm not going to beat around the bush. You know me, Machine. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to just tell you point blank. You might not like my answer, but in the long run, you'll appreciate it. Trust me. I'm not a hard man to get along with, am I?
Nope.
I'm not steering anybody down the wrong path, am I?
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose. Yeah, just tell everybody, not on purpose, but he does anyway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Not to judge or anything like that.
Yeah, I know. Just throw me under the bus. Yeah, I know. So you guys have to understand one thing. One, with these drivers, if you're getting it from the Nvidia app, stop. Here comes the beaten answer you need. Stop getting it from the Nvidia app. Go to, here's another thing that's been bothering me. See, when you go to type in Google Nvidia drivers and go right to Nvidia's website, here's another problem. Microsoft's deciding to put Nvidia drivers in their store, the Microsoft store. And they're going to start tightening the chain on when it comes to you doing updates for, your graphics card drivers. And I think that's the reason why we got that notice. Because if they put the MSI Center into the Microsoft store, that would be the reason why that it would be considered third-party app. Machine?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it was. It was considered third-party when it tried to auto-update. And Microsoft's going to tend sooner or later, I'm going to tell you, sooner or later, those third-party apps, they're going to start discontinuing them third-party apps. So you're not going to be able to get them anymore. So then everybody's going to have to find a workaround, in order to update your programs. It sucks. I have a feeling they're going to start Microsoft's going to start locking everybody out of third-party apps. Google's already starting to do it with Android. You know that machine.
Mm-hmm.
Google's starting to do it with Android. So that sucks even more. That's why everybody's running over to Brave, another browser, or DuckDuckGo, another browser, so they don't get locked out from doing their thing. But Microsoft, if they start locking out browsers, they start locking you out from third-party apps, and they just say, well, to keep your system secure, we have no other choice but to lock you out from third-party. And they change the whole dynamic. So that means you can't get anything unless you get it from the Microsoft store. Cheers. You know that machine?
Yeah. Everything was going to control.
Yep. It's going to come down to control. It's going to come down to the fact of that everything's going to be pushed to the cloud. I know I've been saying this for how long now?
Yep.
And guess what's happening? Why do you think they're building those data centers? Why do you think they're called data centers? They're going to make everything go to the cloud. You're not going to have shiz for a PC. I mean, basically, I could use a PC that was back from 2005 and get on the cloud, and it works just fine. They start pulling PC parts away from the community like they're doing now. They start discouraging everybody from building PCs so they can put everything into the data centers. And when it comes to building a PC, they're just going to charge you more. It's going to cost you what? To get 32 gigs of RAM right now cost you what? $500? That's DDR5. You imagine DDR6? I don't know about you guys, but we're going to get sooner or later, depending on the Windows drivers or the operating system. Well, I could say operating system drivers, the operating system, and these hardware manufacturer drivers. So we're going to be more dependent on software than we are hardware. I still think that was a good deal for that 5070, though.
Which one?
When I did Graphics Card Nightmare yesterday.
Yeah.
You guys make sure you watching that, and I want your opinion. Should I keep going with it? I mean, how many years have I did that?
Wow.
3 years?
Yep. That was one of your mainstays.
Yeah. But I want to hear from the community, and should I, kick it back up again? This time I want to make a little bit of a change. I was reviewing my own after I pushed it up to YouTube. I was looking at it and had a thought. Well, actually, Mr. Machine gave the thought. He says instead of just going to these vendors, pick a certain class and just review a certain class from one vendor on that week. Is that about right?
Yep.
Like 1 week, I'll pick a generation, a generation class card, and we'll look on, let's say, Amazon, Newegg, or Micro Center. We'll just look on Amazon for 1 week. Next week we'll look on Newegg in a different generation, and next week we'll mix it up. And we'll even throw in some PC part picker. Maybe that'll even give me any more. They're not sponsoring me. I'll just throw it in there anyway. You know that? I'll just throw it in there. So, some ideas like that. If you guys got some good ideas, I would love for you to share your ideas with me. Maybe I'll make your ideas, a part of the show. Which I always try to, that.
Here's one for you. I'm going to send it over to you.
Okay.
This is interesting. It has to do with the... I'm going to send it to...
Send it to my main computer.
Okay.
Not my mobile.
Take a look at that.
Well, I can't take a look at it until you send it.
This is extremely interesting.
Okay. So you sent me a Steam survey?
No. The results from the February survey.
Yeah, I got the February 2026 survey.
What's number one? And look at the increase.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we take everybody over there and show them what we're doing? So that way they're not left in the loop. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That way they're in the loop, not left out of the loop, basically. Okay, guys. Steam hardware and software survey is that what you call it? Survey? Yep. Swing? No, something like that.
Yep.
Okay, that's a monthly thing. So what are we looking at here, Mr. Machine?
Look at the OS. Windows 11 down 10%.
For CPU?
Mm-hmm.
Says click here for more info. I don't think we're going to want to do that.
Windows 10 up 12%.
Well, it doesn't show. It shows Intel, AMD, and Nvidia. Am I looking on the wrong one?
It shows. Hold on.
Or am I on the wrong one?
If you go down at the bottom of the page that I sent you.
Okay.
It shows you what the number one items are.
I got OS version, Windows 11. Well, if I'm reading this right, then the current OS version right now lost 10.43%.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at that right.
Yeah. Windows 10 gained 12%.
No, it lost 10.43%.
But Windows 10 gained 12%.
Oh, I'm looking at Windows 11.
If you click on that, it tells you what the systems are, what operating systems.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
It lost it in 11, and people are going back to 10.
Well, maybe I need to make it bigger so that way everybody can see it. Right?
And the number one GPU is pretty fascinating too.
Okay. Oh, damn. How the hell? Well, they can see it. So, looking here, Windows 11 lost 10.43, but Windows 10 gained 12.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Could that be because they get it for free in Europe?
Well, if you take a look at the language-based model, it's up. Simplified Chinese is up 30%. So it looks like they pulled China this time around.
Yeah.
1440p is up 17%. While 1080p is down 8%.
Wow, English is down 14.74%.
I think they pulled China this time around.
Well, they did something because
it's all based on, I think, like the most popular graphics card is a 5070.
yeah, the China's
9.12% of all users have a 57
wow.
in the poll. 6.4% increase.
So 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Okay, 8 gigabytes of VRAM is only down by 0.20%. 8 gigabytes of VRAM, dude.
Mm-hmm.
12 gigabytes is only up 0.15. So if you're looking at the 8 gigabyte, it's down 20. So it's basically 0.35% from 12 gigabyte.
Still 1/3 of all people are still using 8 gigabyte card, more than 1/3.
Yeah, true.
But about half are still using 8 or less.
But 16 gigabyte is up by 3.71%. But you can see on 32 gigs, it's only up 0.05%.
Yeah.
That means it's a 5090.
Right. And only less than 1% of everybody has one of those.
So you got a 5090. It looks like the 24 gigabytes is the 4090.
Or the 7900 XT.
Yeah.
XTX.
Yeah.
XTX. The 20 is going to be the XT.
Right. And the 22 gigabyte?
Who knows? Could be modifications.
Yeah, I agree. That could be the
1080 Ti doubled up to make it 22.
Or the 2080 Ti.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, 2080 Ti possibility. So,
Don't know.
well, they should have put it in other, but
Yep.
But all in all, 12 gigabytes of VRAM is still good. Believe it or not, 8 gigabytes is still holding water. Okay. It's still holding water because 10 gigabyte, look at 11 gigabytes is down 0.26% compared to the 8 gigabyte. That's 11 gigabyte compared to the 8 gigabyte, which is only down 0.20. So 11 gigabytes is down 6% more than 8 gigabytes. Does that make sense to you?
That's their polling.
It is. It's their polling. Now, this is where the kicker is: system RAM. Let's see. Less than 4 gigabytes now. 24 gigabytes. Now, 32 gigabytes is the only one that's up 18.91%. 32 gigs.
Yep.
64 gigs is down by 1.01%. Damn. Yeah.
I thought that would be interesting to show.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's all based off of the Chinese, though. I think this is a Chinese survey.
It has to be.
Yep. Well, at least we know that they're using the 5070 is their most popular card by far.
Let's see. Let's go by monitor display.
That one's interesting too.
2560 by 1440p is up by 17.32.
Yep.
Even 4K is down by 1.89%. 4K.
This is interesting for sure.
Yeah. 1080p is down a little bit. But you got to look at the average is 45.04% on 1080p. So you're taking away. So that means like you got like 30%. 30% of the population still using 1080p. Another 30 is using 1440p, and everything else is broken up into the other slots. So 1440p and 1080p is the two big ones that everybody's using. 4K it's not even, people are not really into doing the 4K thing. 3% of the population. Now it's minus 1.89 from that 3%. So let's actually calculate it. What do you think? Should we calculate it? I think we should. So I know you guys love the calculator. I'll bring out the calculator. So we're looking at the 4K. So we got 3.06 minus 1.89 equals. So that means only 1.17, if I'm doing this right. Probably not. So this means 1.17% of the population through the whole world is running 4K. So that means it's the 1% crowd that's running 4K. Are we a part of the 1% crowd there, Machine? Because we can run 4K now? Maybe, kind of. So sorry about that, my friend. I forgot you were talking with your better half.
Oh, it's all right. You're good.
So are we part of the 1% crowd?
Yeah.
Because
well, I think that was a Chinese, like they pulled the China on that one, and that's what they're using. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see what other countries are actually using.
Yeah, and 1%ers are only using the 4K, per K, 4K.
1440p and 1080p are the masters.
Yeah.
It's really the only affordable. Well, it's not necessarily true anymore, but if but it all depends on what you can get.
Right.
We have a lot more ability to get things here than some other countries. So
I'm thinking, if we go across the board, all across all countries of the world, 1080p is going to be still 60%. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got your 1440p. That's going to be 35%. And then you got your 4K is only going to be 5%. You still got that gap in between 1080p and people are going to use 1080p regardless of what anybody's going to tell me. I know you guys are going to say, no matter what you're going to tell me, when reviewers are using testing for their CPUs, they're going to be using 1080p, maybe lower than 1080p. So regardless, 1080p is here to stay. Get over it.
And that's where everybody, all the professionals, game at 1080p. So
exactly,
it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's not.
1440p and 4K is really for, your first person, your story-driven games, if you have hardware to run them. But 1080p is just like the basic Joe Schmo. When they buy a system, they get a 1080p monitor.
Well, 4K is for your hardcore casual gamers.
Yeah, that's hardcore. Yeah, because the money it costs to get a good monitor is not cheap.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Right.
I just thought that survey was interesting.
Unoriginal says, I read what you said on original. Me, regardless, I still like 1080p as well.
Yep. Nothing wrong with it.
Just got better pixels on a better monitor. I can still jam with 1080p on my card. But I do more or less, now I got that option. I can do a balance like I was doing on DSR for Nvidia. I was still using DSR 1440p to balance the CPU and the GPU. So I'm not putting too much stress on the CPU and I'm not putting too much stress on the GPU. That machine, just even balance. 1440p is the even keel of balance between the resolution of 1080p and 4K. It's like a whole big ball of wax in one, to me. I think 1440p, you can take a 4K monitor, run 1440p, put your upscalers in there and do your diligence to this, and you can make your games look pristine. That's what I do. I make it look pristine. My eyes only can see so much because I wear glasses and these are magnified. So I don't need to make the pixels look any better. They already look just as good the way I got it set at 1440p. I don't need to run 4K. I don't need to put too much stress on my GPU. I don't need to put too much stress on my CPU. It puts it right in the middle. Little bit of a load on the CPU, little bit of load on the GPU, balanced. So
yeah, this is why I like the 4K monitors too, is because I can go down real easy with it if I need to.
Yeah, you got a better option because now you got more pixels with the 4K monitor going to 1440p. Plus, it gives you better density in the pixels.
Yep, and a 27-inch screen is where 1440p works well.
Yeah.
If I go to 4K, it's even denser, so I get better visuals. And if I go to 1080p, it's not as much of a hit if I was at 32 inches. So
yeah,
I think 27-inch monitor is a good in between for everything. So
I do agree. I do agree with that.
But like the with your eyes and everything, you need the pixels larger most of the time. So a 32-inch screen works best for you. So it all depends on the person.
Actually, I am looking at the diameter of the screen, and it's 27 inches. It's a curved monitor at 27 inches wide. Okay. The height is 19.5, 18.5 or 19.5, somewhere in there. So between the height and the width, you know, if you're going from corner to corner, you'll get 32 inches, you know, from one corner to the next. I don't look at it that way. I look at what's in front of me, not what's in me tilting myself. I look at what's in front of me. Right this way and right this way. So you got what? Your plane and you got your horizontal plane and you got your vertical plane. Okay. I look at it in a different sense. I don't look at corner to corner and it doesn't show me diagonal plane. Okay. I'm not looking at my screen in a diagonal plane. I'm looking at it in a horizontal and vertical plane.
So it's the way it's measured, whether it makes sense or not. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
We don't want to go down this rabbit hole again.
No, we ain't going about. No, we're not going down this rabbit hole. I look at things in my machine. I look at things in my own way, and people can look at it however they want to. That's their business. But when it comes to my PC, the way I look at it in my light. Okay. And if other people want to look at it in their light, that their own way, then more power to you. I'm not doing the diagonal crap. I look at what's horizontally and vertically. I can't tilt my head like this playing a game.
Well, you could.
Well, to get what, 32 inches? Yeah, I got to tilt my head here to get, you know, I got to tilt it to get 32 inches. It's a 27-inch screen, man.
Well, I mean, it's pretty, I would just go off of the actual 4K reading, which is what, 3120 or whatever by whatever. That's actually the correct way of looking at it, because that is a length by width pixel count. So that's accurate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could look at it that way. I still look at it like this. It's 27 inches wide. It's 18 or 19 inches high. So regardless, whatever my measuring tape says it is, that's what it is. Fuck the bullshit. Seriously.
I don't know.
On Linux, you can force the display to be at a 45-degree angle. You know, on Windows with the mount, I can turn my TV to where it, you know, elongates, and then now it's 27 inches long, and then it's 19.5, and then I could take, you know, turn it, and then put another one that's right next to it, and have two of them.
Maybe you can just have a diagonal version, and then it'll be accurate.
Yeah, I could swing the mount and, you know, do that, but
do it kind of like offset a little bit. Be like, yep, it's 27 inches. It's 32. Now it's 32.
maybe I should do that with my other monitors. Just taking, you know, turn them like, you know, mold them on the stands and just turn them slightly. Try to make it look diamond shaped instead of looking like horizontal and vertical. Make it look like a diamond, and then I'll get 32 inches somehow.
When you buy a window, you go, is that 50 inches, the diagonal? What do you mean you measure it by the outside? That doesn't make any sense. What do you mean?
I know.
You got to go down diagonally to get that measurement. Come on, guys. Come on.
Hey, Dakota. Good to see you, my brother. Good to see you, man. Yeah, I know. You're just having too much fun with that, bro.
I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, I know you're having goo-goo fun with that, man.
I'm having lots of fun. Ugh.
Oh, let me put it to you this way. I'm not worried about the screen. It looks good to me no matter what size or what dimension, whatever. It looks good. I mean, it beats the hell out of what I had before. And we did the reviews on Amazon, and they said what, after 30 days it was going to blow up. Are we past 30 days on this now?
Yeah, but you don't beat your stuff up, so
Yeah, I know. I really don't. I don't beat my stuff up. So
maybe you need it so we can really test it.
Yeah.
Just leave it on. Let it overheat. I mean, the VA panels aren't going to be hot anyways.
No, this panel's not hot.
Yeah, it's the OLEDs you got to worry about.
Well, you got to remember the power block that's for this, that gets warm. Let me put my hand on it. No, not too warm. I can put my hand on it without burning it, so it's not that bad. I do agree with Mr. Dakota. He said it just point blank. 27 inches is the best monitor to have.
Yep.
Especially when you're getting high graphics and everything else. I do agree with that 100%.
Yep. That's the best all around. I agree too.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we need to find out, and we need to know, Mr. Dakota, we need to ask you this question. Since you picked up the B50, the Intel B50, we need to know how that turned out. Right, Machine? We don't even know. Yeah. We don't even know.
Works great.
I need to know if it turned out good for him, or it turned out bad, or he sold it, or got tired of it, or is it just it didn't run right, or I'm inquiring because I'm asking, because I know I put it out there as a suggestion. So if you're running a CRT monitor that weighs about 60 pounds, they're unofficial. God bless you. Because I'll tell you what, I remember those days carrying those freaking monitors around, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man, they hurt the back so bad.
Yeah, I remember those days too.
Oh, it looked like a spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the elongated spaceship. So why would you put WD-40 in a PC without it catching fire for $1 million? Mr. Beast, if he was a PC YouTuber, oh God. Oh, just thinner than one. Oh. I was thinking he got one of those, remember those projection TVs where they got the 3 big tubes in it? Sitting there, it looked like I mean, I know people that had those projection TVs. What they did was they took the screen out, they took all the guts out of it, and they made a fish tank out of it. Why not? Mm-hmm. Made a fish tank out of one of those. I thought it looked pretty cool. Or what they did was they would take out all the guts and everything else, and just for the gaggle of it all, they would put LCD screen in there, and then put the front back on to make it look like original. That was pretty cool to how they did that, though. You know. So I need to read what's going on the chat here. I used to have 3 CRT monitors here. You know, I end up selling each one of those for $10 a piece, and they work too. I regret that now. Knowing the price on those CRT monitors, I regret that. I really do regret getting rid of 3 of them, though. I could have had $1,000 for 3 of them. I could have gotten $1,000 for 3 working CRT monitors. You're gonna let this fish build a PC so he can tweet the most terrible crap ever known to man? Oh, Elon Musk, huh? You probably could. You probably could throw a PC into one of those monitors. It's big enough. Once you take out the piece, the board that's down at the bottom, you could slide in, if I remember right, you could slide in a very small, what do you call it? I forgot. Shit. You can slide in a tiny board. I keep forgetting the names. And then, you could get like a flat panel or a rounded panel to fit in the front of it. That would be a good project to take a monitor and make it into a computer. That would be a really cool thing to do. It'd be a good project. You're kind of stretching it with the 5090. It would have to be short enough to fit in there, because those CRT monitors they're kind of long, but not that long and not that wide. I mean, you can get away with the 2-fan scenario, but a 3-fan, I don't think you can get away with the 3-fan. It'll probably be too bulky. What's up, Machine? You sound like you're kind of getting bored.
I'm not. I'm just hungry. Waiting for my pizza to be here.
No, but the question is anybody else having problems with the new driver update? Is anybody else having any problems with it? That's the whole reason of the video, the live stream, is to see how many people are still having problems with it. Maybe instead of us doing the thing, telling everybody what's wrong with it, maybe we can come up with the solution to fix it. Because there's always a when it comes to PCs there and the software, there's always a workaround. You have to always remember this. There's always a workaround. Not unless it's black screening constantly, then there is no workaround. Then you have to go into safe mode, and then you have to uninstall the drivers, completely. And then after that, you'll have to, start everything at ground zero and reinstall the drivers. But make sure when you do and you go into Windows, with Windows Update, you turn it off for about a week. Don't forget to turn it back on, but turn it off so that way they don't install their version of your drivers for your GPU. So. Yeah, well, 5090 Founders Edition would be good, but yeah. That still got me kind of baffled. You know that machine?
Uh-huh.
I want to see if it's still there. I want to see if Amazon still has it on there. So, why not take a look? We did it on Graphics Card Nightmares. Might as well have a look now. And they still do. Let me take you guys to and have a peek at this. Brand since 1861. This is bullshit. Seriously. I'm gonna send you the link of this.
Who's selling it?
I'm just gonna send you the link.
Okay.
There's the link. And if you guys want the link too, just let me know. You know what? I'll just send you guys the link.
It says ships from Amazon.
I'll just send you guys the link, and you guys can, and Discord, then you guys can have a look.
I ordered the ASRock Astro 5080 for $900. Got a cell phone stand for a desk instead.
Am I imagining this? Brand since 1861?
The scam item received a phone holder for a car. Phone stands. They're sending phone stands.
That's an expensive phone stand.
Order a graphics card and got a phone holder. Do not order from the seller.
This one is definitely a scam. It's got no reviews. But it does. Ships from, I don't know how fucking Amazon can do this, man.
So they're probably in a package and they don't know what's in it. Know what I mean?
Well, let's kind of look at the Astral. It's the same thing. It's the same seller.
Yeah. See?
This is the reason why we do Graphics Card Nightmares, is because of the scams. And we got to show you guys the scam. This has no reviews whatsoever.
Yeah, because people are getting smart, hopefully. Oh.
No, but I do want to go to Newegg. Oops, sorry. Hit the microphone. Do want to go to Newegg. Where was it? It was a 5070. I want to see if they still have it. Yeah, it's right here. It's right here. So guess what? They got an MSI Ventus GeForce RTX 5070 with Resident Evil and a 750 watt gold rated power supply. Let's see. Is there reviews on this? Yep, we got one. $40 to 60 FPS with the 5070. I can run high ray tracing and get 60 to 70 FPS. It's a worthwhile upgrade. Only thing I would say, just make sure your power supply can handle connector type. It's worth noting, so you don't have to buy one separately. Okay. It's a good deal on Amazon. Because I think I did the math on this, and with the game and the power supply, it only comes up to $511 for the GPU.
I don't know. I was taking a picture of the door, so it's mainly so like the other dashes can know like what the door looks like. Okay, that's yeah, because there are little numbers on there. Oh yeah, the letters B and A.
You too. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, that might be rage bait because I got a 4070. I definitely get over 100 FPS. So I know the 5070 is definitely going to be getting over 100 FPS. So.
Top bag is for me.
But look at it this way, okay? If you guys took the calculator out, okay, let's say we go to, let's say we stay on Newegg, right? We're just going to do a little bit price comparison. Okay. Now, what we're looking for is right here. That's what we're looking for. Wow. Okay, I stand corrected.
Is there a range in there?
Say $106. So I stand corrected. How much is the Resident Evil game?
70.
So we take 70 and then we add, let's say 103. It's $173. So you take and minus that from the 650. So that means the graphics card is $477. So you're telling me that the graphics card is now went from 511 to 477. That's worth it. If the graphics card's $477, that's worth it. You see where I'm going with this, right? Oh. Okay. Let me put this back in my hat. So you figure the price of the game, you figure the price of the power supply. You minus that from the price of the card, and there's your actual price. So you're paying $477 for the card. That's not a bad deal.
Nope.
Hello there, Jims. Good to see you. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live stream. Okay, we started off talking about Nvidia drivers. And the conclusion I'm getting from my PC, I'm not having a problem. I run a 40 series graphics card, the 4070. Just to catch you up to date, Machine, he runs the 5070 Ti, and we're both on the same drivers. The new one was at 595.71. The newest one that was just released. Not the one Nvidia pulled back. The re-release. I see a big improvement with the drivers. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to put no hate on the drivers because they're working with no problem. And I'm live streaming right on the drivers. So put all that together. If it works on my system, it should work on everybody else's, depending on how you set your stuff up. That all comes to the Windows operating system. And like I told everybody, make sure, because AMD, if you got an AMD motherboard, you know, like you're running an AMD CPU, make sure the chipset drivers are up to date. AMD put out a notice to everybody to make sure you update to the current drivers for February. The recent current drivers. Because if you're on Windows 11 25H2, this supports Windows 11 25H2. So if you're still lingering on the old drivers, then guess what? And you're running Windows 11 25H2, you might be stuck into a problem. And you might have a crashing problem due to the fact that AMD just said, make sure your chipset drivers are up to date. Mine are up to date, Machine's up to date, we're all up to date. So, just to give you a heads up where we're going with that. So, that's just to keep everybody up to date, so y'all know that might be something you need to look into. Okay. He's tested his system. It's running perfectly. I've tested my system with the new driver update, and it's running fine. I don't have any problems. I have no fan problem. I have no power. I don't have no problem with, taking and, doing the fan control for the power section. Power section of my GPU is just fine. I can increase the power section. I can decrease the power section. I didn't see any problem. I have fan control on mine. I didn't see any problem with that neither. Okay, my CPU is on an AIO cooler, so fan control is running fine there too. And the fan control for my AIO radiator, the fans for the radiator is fine too. It's running fine. So I don't know what kind of hubbub you all are getting out there, but this is a good deal if you guys want to get into it. Let me know if you do.
Oh, they're painting the
And let me know if you guys want to get into it. I copied the link just to let you guys know. We'll go back to the main screen. I copied the link. So if you want me to put it in the chat and you guys want to see where that 5070 is, that'll be up to you. So I'm going to paste it into the chat. There you go. So that way, if you guys want to have a look at it, you can. That'll be up to you. I put it in the chat. When the stream ends, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it is what it is. So what do you think, Machine? Did we do our diligence for today or what?
Yep.
Did we tell everybody about the fact of how they can fix their GPUs and not have any driver update issues and all that? You think they caught on?
Yep.
So, but I gave them the best fix. I mean, it's the simplest fix that you can do. You just type in amd.com/driver updates /CPU. I think that works, but let me double check because I know I don't want anybody to get all upset with me. amd.com/CPU driver update 9700X, and it comes up driver support for processors. It says download Windows drivers, download Linux drivers. And if you guys don't know where to go, I'll make it easy for you. I'll copy the link and I will paste it in the chat. There. So if you're looking for driver support, you can always go there. And we'll just, for shiz and giggles. Okay, so this is what you're going to see. This says auto detect install. You can do your chipset drivers. You can download this from Windows drivers. Or you can go down here and browse product and you go chipset. You can go, AM5. And then if you got, I got like a B850 motherboard, and just click submit. So that's pretty simple. And then you can go Windows 10 or Windows 11, whichever one you want to use. And then it gives you the revision number, and just click download. So if you got Windows 10, same thing. You just click download. Simple. Can't get any better than that. So I showed them machine. I showed them where they need to go. That's the best thing I can do. So. All right there, official. You have a good one too. We'll talk to you later. Be safe and have a great evening and a better time tomorrow. But we're going to continue with our discussion, right, Machine?
Yep.
I'm still thinking that people are still going to have problems because they're still not understanding that what they're miscalculating is that they could be doing it for clicks. I'm doing this live stream not for clicks. If you guys are clicking on and clicking off, you know, you're not getting anything. You're not getting any kind of information. You're not listening to the information. You didn't go get up to this part of the live stream because it's instant replay. Just to let you guys know, that means when I close out this live stream, you can go back on replay and watch it again if you want. I made it to where it's watchable. So if you want to watch it again, you can. But I'm going to tell you, Machine, I don't think they're getting what I'm saying. I think what they're doing is they're listening to the ones that don't know what they're talking about. And when they all want to guess at, you know, what them big reviewers are doing, but the big reviewers are not telling you what you need to know and how to fix it. All I'm doing is giving you a suggestion and how to fix your problem. You can try it to see if it works. And if it doesn't work, leave a comment in the live feed, or when we close out the video, you can leave a comment on the video. Either way, you got plenty of options. I always read everybody's posting. I will tell you guys that I read them every day. I might not answer right away, but I read them every day. I answer every one that comes in. And when we grow even bigger, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Keep me busy and motivated. But you know they probably won't, Machine, but they want to, but they're unsure. They're really unsure if this is the right drama channel they want to be on. You know, I think that you think they're looking for that. You think they're looking for the drama?
No, it's not a drama channel.
No, we're not. We're not a drama click channel. Hotfix 595.76 is out.
That's the one we just downloaded. We were talking about it.
Yeah, but if you go look on Nvidia's support page, 595.76 was used for the studio drivers. How I know?
I have 7.6 downloaded.
But why are you running studio drivers?
I'm not. Oh, I'm running 7.1. Sorry, I was off by one.
Yes.
7.1.
591.74 is studio drivers. It's right here. 591.74 is studio drivers. If you're not doing content creating work and you're just playing games, that's the one you want, 7.1. Oh, but you're saying hotfix 595.76. Oh.
I don't see it.
Let's see. NVDA hot fix. And you said it's 595. Oh, we're going to find out. 595.76. Okay. They did like they did last time, their machine. They put it in a hidden freaking page, in an article page, right? So let's increase this. .76. Let's go through it and see what it's about. And thank you for bringing that up there, NegZZ. We do appreciate it. This hot fix addresses the following. When the graphics card is overclocked, GPU voltage may become capped, preventing it from boosting to expected levels. This is the fix. Resident Evil, the new one, white glowing light dots may appear in-game when subsurfacing and scattering is enabled. Not and, subsurface scattering is enabled. Improved path tracing performance in Resident Evil, the new one. Star Citizen game client crashes when launched. Intermittent application crash or driver timeout may be observed when multi-key DRM content in a browser on HDCP 1X monitors. Interesting. A GeForce driver is an incredible, complex piece of software. Oh, yeah, the pat on the back. So that's basically what them patting themselves on the back. So this is 595.76. It's a hot fix.
Yep.
Okay. I'm only going to explain this once, guys. And I want you guys to hear me out. If you don't have a problem with your graphics card and it's running fine on 595.71, do not install the hotfix. You'll do more harm than good on your PC. But if you're still having problems, then NagZZ brought up the hotfix. We looked at it. It's there. So you can download it. You have to go to that page. Okay. But I'm going to tell you, like I tell everybody else, I don't do hot fixes. I wait until the next update comes out with the Nvidia driver updates. I will not put a hot fix into my PC ever. If that driver, the up-to-date driver, the WQHL driver becomes a problem, I'll go back to the last good known driver that worked for my PC. I will not put a hotfix driver in my PC. I've had bad things happen when you put those beta drivers in. Bad things happen. And I'm not going to risk me not being able to make videos or live streams or anything else because I want to dabble with the driver updates. So, to keep my sanity and you guys' sanity as well, let's play it on the safe. And if the drivers do not work for you, then resort and go back down to the last good known driver and use that until Nvidia comes up with an update, and then you can test it again to see if it works for your PC. And if it does, then you got another solid driver. But until then, I would never recommend a hotfix. But it's there. It's your choice. You can make that decision. I'm not making that decision for you. I made the decision about my PC, what I would do, and that's what I'm recommending to you guys. But if you feel it works for you, then go for it.
Yep.
But I'm not, and Machine knows, if I'm not going to put it in there, guess what he's not going to do?
Yep.
He's going to do the same thing I'm going to do because he knows my recommendation's solid. So, am I wrong about that?
Nope. Now, if I was playing that game and I was having issues with it, there's 2 hot fixes for that game.
Why would
if
it?
The game's running good, then I wouldn't touch it.
It wouldn't matter anyway because you can go into your preset controls for the Nvidia app and set it up the way you want it and make the game run just as good.
Yeah. So then they'll have all the fixes in the next update.
Yeah, they just wait for
I'll wait for the official patch because then it'll be tested all the way.
Right. Wait for the qualified drivers to come out for Nvidia. Because you have to understand, the hot fixes are not qualified drivers. Microsoft didn't sign off and approve those drivers. That's the reason why people have problems with the hot fixes, is because Microsoft never approved those drivers. Because you have to understand, when it comes to an operating system, if you don't get Microsoft's approval for driver updates, guess what's going to happen? Crashes, black screens, the whole 900 yards. Your GPU is just going to go haywire because it's not embedded. The codes for that driver update, it's not embedded to the Windows operating system. It has to be embedded for it to work correctly. You guys can quote me and tell me I'm wrong all you want. I know you're going to do it, but I'm going to tell you like this. If it's not, you don't get signed drivers by Microsoft for the driver update, it's going to be a complete nightmare. And I think that's what's happening too, is Microsoft slacked off on qualifying the driver updates. That could be another thing too. I didn't think about it until just now, Machine, that they could not be, they could be slacking off on qualifying the drivers and putting the updates with the operating system because they're supposed to. So, hello, Merles. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. How long do you think we will have to wait to the new update? Well, they're doing it once a month. They just released it, yesterday? The new update? Or was that today? Machine?
Which update?
The Nvidia update. It was released yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. The second. So 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty much on the second of every month. You think?
It's the beginning of the month. It all depends.
It could be the first. It could be the first week of the next month, or it could be the end of the week.
Yep.
You know, the beginning of the week or the end of the week. Could be the first week of the month. That what we realize is the first week of the month. Sometimes Nvidia changes their pattern. They don't keep a consistent pattern. Sometimes the drivers can go at the beginning. You know, new drivers come with the update at the beginning of the month. Then sometimes it comes in the middle or the end of the month. So we're thinking it's pretty much at the first week of the month. So, oh, you're welcome. No problem. But from what I'm understanding, for the month of March, well, no, they already did for the month of March. Then the next would be the month for April. So when they come up with the April drivers, hopefully it's not an April Fool's Day. You got to make sure we can watch on that too, machine. They don't do an April Fool's on us and put fake drivers out there. That would suck. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So let's hope they don't put out fake drivers for the next month. April Fool's Day. You never know. They might. Feels like it's been April Fool's for the last couple months anyway. But other people are having problems. We wonder why. And like I said, make sure if you got AMD, make sure your chipset drivers are up to date. You got Intel, make sure your chipset drivers are up to date. If you got Linux, make sure your chipset drivers are up to date. If you got Santa Claus, make sure you go ho, ho, ho. So, serious guys, best to keep your chipset drivers for your operating system up to date. Don't rely on Microsoft updating those drivers that sit in your device manager. Do not rely on Microsoft. Rely on the manufacturer like AMD and Intel to get your stuff updated right from the manufacturer. Never rely on the operating system company because they do things their own way. Rely on the fact of the manufacturer. I have for years relied on manufacturers, but before the internet, back in the day, we had to request driver updates from the company and get them on a CD. So, not a lot of people knew back then you can take and call the company up and say, hey, I need some driver updates for my operating system here for your hardware. I need you to send me some. And believe it or not, they sent me the driver updates, which was pretty cool. On a CD. But then the World Wide Web came about. And that's where things changed. That's where Microsoft's tune changed. After they built Windows 98, they said personally, we're not going to worry about the operating system. We're going to be worried about the enhancements, the apps. That's where that started back on Windows 98. They said, we're not going to concentrate on the operating system so much. We're going to concentrate on the apps. because that's where they were starting to make their money, was on the apps. That's where the money started. And ever since then, they have still had the crappiest operating system from Windows 95 and up. Now, Windows 3.1 and 3.0 and all the way down, those were just Office programs. Basically. Nothing else. Maybe a card game on 3.1, maybe. But as far as, the official operating system, it started with Windows 95A was the official first one. Then you had Windows 95B. Then you had Windows 95C. Then after that, it went to Windows 98, then Windows 98 Second Edition. If you really want to keep going, we can keep going with this. But it's going to get kind of boring if I keep going this route. We all know Microsoft has their hair problems with their operating system. But now these days, we keep denouncing the fact that it is a problem. We keep denouncing the fact that we recognize it's the problem. And the thing is they should be fixing the problem. They're making problems worse in the last 2 years. As we fight as builders, as myself, building the operating system in a different light other than Microsoft, taking out all the bloatware and the crap they put in there. So yeah, it's a battle. It's a battle when they make operating system changes. Then you got to figure out what they did and everything else. Ugh, drives me crazy, machine.
Yep.
It does. Because everybody dismisses the fact of the operating system. Guys, your PC will not start up. It'll start up in the BIOS, but the thing is this. It will not start up unless you have an operating system. Period. And if you don't learn your operating system and how it works and how you can modify it to make it better for your PC and your gaming and everything else, you're just going to be completely miserable trying to game. Am I wrong, machine?
Nope.
You're going to be so miserable because you can't get your graphics card to run right. You can't get your CPU to run right. You can't get nothing to run right because you didn't fix your operating system. You didn't fine-tune your operating system to make it run right. You didn't match your UEFI BIOS and tune that to make your operating system run right on with the CPU. You didn't tune it just right. And everybody wonders why they can't get their PC to run correctly. Well, I get some people that tell me like this. Well, I got a 4-core CPU. Okay, well, I hate to tell you this. Now these days, even 6 cores is not sufficient enough on certain AAA games. They recommend anything over 8 cores. 9700X was a really good price. A B850 motherboard was a really good price at the time. And machine's running the same thing I'm running. Am I wrong?
Same thing, except for the graphics card.
Except for the graphics card. That's the only thing that's different.
And our BIOS is set up differently.
Yeah, our BIOSes are set up differently. But even though that they're set up differently, we still get optimal performance.
Yep.
So it wasn't a bad choice to get a B850 motherboard.
Mm-hmm.
B850, not B650, B850. Because this motherboard here is like, it says B850, says /870. It says it in HW info. So this has got a mix. This has got a mix. And I'm going to tell the naysayers right now, I know it's got a mix because I got to look at an X870 motherboard. I had a look at an X870 BIOS in the motherboard. And close to this reference, it's not that much different. What? Because you get a couple more bells and whistles? So what? You fine tune it even more? So what? You can do the same thing with this B850 motherboard. And for the price, it was really good. So when you get your head done beating against the wall, telling everybody, oh, get a 600 series motherboard, which is going to be discontinued by AMD really soon. And really soon, Intel's about to do the same because they're working on their new motherboards coming out for the new chips. So do keep your head wrapped around that. Especially if they come up with an AM6 CPU.
I think it's going to be a rollout.
Well, if they come up with an AM6 CPU, then that means they're probably going to come up with DDR6. Because they already got it for workstation. What would really stop them from creating an DDR6?
The fact that nobody can afford RAM.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. But still. Let's see. Mr. Fake Frames, hello there. I am curious how the clamshell G31 die with the Intel B70 will perform in the new Intel workstation card. I don't know. You have to ask Mr. Dakota there that question there, Fake Frames. I would not go that route unoriginal. I would not go a fanless. There's too much, I would imagine there's too much heat that comes off of that. I would not go fanless. Not unless you're putting an AIO cooler on it or some kind of water cooling system. I would not go fanless. That's just my opinion. The B50 is a cut down G21, not a G. Oh, I thought you said G31. I would have to look it up to see what its specs is, man. I can't keep all the specs in my head, so you got to give me a little bit of a tune for that. Let's see. Let's see. Intel B50 specs. Oh my God. Okay, it's a G21. Okay, so it's got 128 TMUs and it's got 16 ROPS. Oh, that's not going to be that great. But it's going to be a little something, but 128-bit bus. And it runs right with the A580, the 6600, and the 2070. So around this bunch right here. So I was thinking about that because if you can make it insanely small, then there has to be a way to make it fanless. Well, if you're gonna make it silent, that means you're gonna have to make the heat sink larger to absorb the amount of heat and be able to pass off the amount of heat through your case in order for that to happen. It's not making the heat sink smaller. You have to make the heat sink larger for it to accept that much heat. So you're not decreasing the size, you're increasing the size to make it passive. And plus you have to have the fins pointing in the right direction to where your intake for your let me just go back to the main screen for a minute. You have to have where the air, your fans, your case fans are passing air through the fins, being passed through the fins and out the back. But some manufacturers make the fins go, you got the card flat like this, they make the fins like this. So unless you got bottom air pushing up, or you got an open air chassis, that might work too. But I really don't see it. I really don't see it working. Okay there, Mr. Dakota. Welcome back. A fanless 3050. If you get the small form factor 3050 with no power connector to it, where the maximum wattage is only 35 watts. Well, no, it can go up to 77, but stable at 35 on a 3050, the small form factor version, with no external power connector, no PCI connector to it. You might be able to get away with something like that being passive. Yeah, you can do a 3050 passive. Yes, they made Pallet and made one of those fanless ones too. Yeah. Like I said, the fins are going to have to be like this. Probably about this long. You know, it's going to have to have long fins, because it's still got to pass the heat to somewhere. And if you're with your case, if you're pushing the heat in a positive direction, you know, you got positive pressure coming through there, and you're still using some kind of air pressure to keep it cool. So unless you're running caseless, you know, PC to where it's open air PC, that'd be a different story. So, depends on what you want to do, you know. But yeah, Dakota, I do agree with you. I figured they had a large heat sink. But, I mean, if you're going to go through that much trouble for a fanless, but you're still going to have bottom fans blowing upwards, it's still going to have a fan to it, either way you look at it. So, either way. It's not going to matter because your case, you're going to have fans pulling air in and pulling air out. You're still going to have positive pressure going through your case. So you're still using fans. Unless it's an open air chassis. That's the only way you're not going to be using fans. You're going to be using the ambient air. You know what I mean? The ambient air of the case. The open air. You're going to be using that ambient air to cool it. And it's not going to like you so much. Am I wrong, machine?
Nope.
You know,
you need to have good airflow. You have to.
He would have major airflow problems, wouldn't he? Some people do run open air cases. But how long does their components last? After you got to look at the evaporation and condensation with an open air case, you hope that the motherboard was coated with clear coat to where it doesn't oxidize all the components on your motherboard. That's the whole reason why you got positive airflow, is it keeps the air moving, keeps the circulation moving. If you're wanting to take away the circulation and put more heat to it, then just get a blowtorch. Right, machine? Just get a blowtorch. Because that's pretty much what you're going to be doing to it. You're going to heat that GPU die up so high, you might as well just put a blowtorch to it. And save yourself the agony. I would rather have fans on my GPU than no fans at all. So, okay. I'll be waiting for you to show me what you're talking about. Especially if you get a Jack Nicholson look. They're here. So. Oh. Looks like after 2 hours, YouTube decides to drop frames. Because the amount of load they got on YouTube. So, what do you think, machine? It's about time to call it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think it's about time too. We're over the 2 hour mark. So, all right, guys, this is the deal. We got the all rest of this week until next week, till Wednesday at 6 p.m. We're nailing it down in solids. So 6 p.m. Wednesday is the live stream. So make sure you're there. And all through the week, I'll probably be making a video. Probably take a day off one day. But most of the days, we're probably making videos. So make sure you watch out for them. Make sure you guys watch out for when I post for the live stream. So you'll be ready for that. Okay, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Unoriginal wants me to wait. Yeah, you should have just sent it to me in Discord. That would have been easier. But you sent it to my phone. Okay. So, oh, guys, make sure you put a thumbs up on the live stream. It helps me. It helps the channel. We got 5 of them. Hopefully we can get 10 of them. We got 6 of them. Let's hope we can get 10 of them at least. 10 to 20 of the thumbs ups for the live stream. See, I got it right here. I'm looking. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to Discord. Let me go to Discord. So, just give me a minute and we'll sign off. So, what's your question, unofficial? Are you asking me, will this work? Possibly. But I wouldn't use a blower fan. I would use a fire down fan. One that, fires, that blows the air down on top of the heat sink. I would not use a blower fan. That's way too much noise and too much headache. I would be using a fire down fan other than a blower fan. Because you want to minimize your noise. That's what I would do to minimize the noise. I would get me a machine. One of those white and brown fans.
Sort of an N.
Yeah. Noctua fan.
Yeah, not to us.
So I would get a Noctua fan. Good for airflow. You were thinking about putting that in a laptop chassis? No. But that's up to you. You can decide to do whatever you wish. But in order to get it into that chassis, you're going to have enough thickness. You're going to have at least at least 2-inch thickness. At least. I mean, but fit us to make it as a gutted out laptop and put it all in there. You're still going to have the controller board for the keyboard. You're still going to have the controller board for the screen. There's a lot of things you're going to need to make that work for a laptop. You can't just shove a laptop, discrete graphics card in a laptop. That's going to be kind of impossible. But they do have a converter which you can plug in a discrete graphics card through the USB port. What do you think, Machine?
I have no idea.
I think I've seen those converters to where you can take and plug them in from the USB port, but you're going to need a fast enough USB port to run a graphics card. So, well, make sure you can swap out the parts. But anyway, if you guys want to touch up on, you want to keep this conversation going, then we'll take it over to Discord. So we'll do that. We'll take a discussion over to Discord. So just to let y'all know, Machine, you want to say the goodbyes?
See y'all later. Thanks for coming in.
Yes, and I do agree with Mr. Machine. And we do thank you all for stopping in and spending time with us just to hear us do a little bit of ranting and positive noting and giving you guys a good direction to go in. But anyway, I need a direction from you guys. I need you guys directly to go and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Like I said, keep me motivated. But until the next time, next video or live stream, you guys know who it is. We'll see you on the next one.